In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to integrate the Instamojo payment gateway with Laravel. In order to integrate the Instamojo, first I will have to go to their test account. So for example, test Instamojo. You can search by this. You will see that this is test.instamojo.com. If you go here, you will be able to create a sandbox account from here. The link is test.instamojo.com. Similarly, there is another link that is www.instamojo.com, and this is the main account. You will see that both the accounts look similar, okay? But when you will want to use the Instamojo only for the sandbox account, then you will have to come here and create an account here, that is sign up. You can go here and you can easily create an account. For example, continue with Facebook or sign up with Google, or if you want, you can give your email address, password, and then sign up the business. Then it will ask you after sign up the Indian mobile number. You can give any number, no problem. Then it will ask for OTP. For the OTP you can use 1234. That's okay, and you will be able to create an account here. But I am not going to create a new account because I already have an account here. So I am going to log in with my account here now. So this is the page. After login, you will see that a page will come like this, and from here you will see there is the API and plugins option. If I go here, you will be able to see the private API key and auth token that will be needed to integrate the Instamojo. So these two items are very important, that is API key and auth token. If I refresh, yes, these two items. Now one important thing to mention is that if you create new account here for the first time, and if you want to give if you want to use these API keys, you will see a permission error probably. So if you see this type of error, then you will have to contact with the Instamojo and tell that if your account is production or sandbox, then they will fix this for you. For example, do not have permission Instamojo. So here, if you go here, you will see that sometimes you can see this type of error when you will send a request using the Instamojo API. So in that case, if you see this type of error, you will have to contact them in this email, that is support@instamojo.com. It can take 2 or 3 days to get answer from them. So just wait for them, and if they fix the issue for you, then you will be able to use the APIs. In my case, actually there is no such type of things because I opened the account 2 years ago. There was no such problem in that time, but for now it can be a major problem for you when you will go to use their API. So just follow this step and it will be fixed. So now I am going to use my account API keys to integrate it. First, I am going to create a new and fresh Laravel. So I am going to install the Laravel in my desktop. For this reason, I am going to open this, that is terminal, and I am going to desktop. Then I am going to use Composer to create project, that is Laravel project. So Laravel, and Instamojo is the name, Instamojo. Okay, so a fresh Laravel will be installed in this location, that is desktop. Okay, so if I go to the desktop, you will see a new Instamojo is installed. This folder is installed here. So this is a fresh Laravel I have installed right now. I am going now to open the VS Code editor, and then I am going to drag this folder here. Okay, so this is the fresh installed Laravel that comes here. These are the files. Okay, now what I am going to do, that is I want to run this application in my web browser. So here I will run the application. How I can run? I am going to open the terminal in that location, that is in Instamojo, and here php artisan search. So a server is running now. I am going to use it here. You see, this is a fresh Laravel homepage that comes after the installation. So from here you will see there is a welcome.blade.php and this is the page content. I am now going to remove that because I will use my own welcome.blade.php here. Laravel Instamojo integration I am going to give here, and here for example product, what will be my product is for example mobile phone, and the price is for example 300 rupee. So in this case I will have to use the rupee symbol. So like this I am going to copy it, and here I am going to paste the symbol. Okay, and there will be a phone, and then here CSRF token. Okay, there will be a button type will be submit. So here button type equal to submit, and pay with Instamojo will be here, and here in the form action I will create a route here that will be a callback route. So when the payment will be done, it will go back to the callback, not callback, here it will be Instamojo route. Okay, so there is no route by the name Instamojo, so I will have to create it now. So I am going to the routes web.php, and here I am going to create the new route here, that is post, and here name will be Instamojo. Here will be a controller, that is Instamojo controller. Like this function will be Instamojo and name will be also Instamojo. Another route I am going to create here, that is get, and that will be a callback route here, and here it will be Instamojo controller callback, and this is a callback function. Similarly I am going to create a success, not here, it is get and success, and here Instamojo controller, then success, name equal to success, and another one will be for example cancel, like this. Okay, so this should work. So this is the routes, and in the top I will have to call the Instamojo controller. Okay, so this is the welcome page and this is the route page. As I create here, you see Instamojo controller, so I am going to create that now. So here PHP artisan make controller, I will create a controller now by this name Instamojo controller. You will see it comes here. This is a new and fresh controller. Here I will have to call the functions. One is Instamojo, and here this will be request of request, and another one will be here public function callback. This one will also be request, or here I am okay, I can change it after later if it needed to change. So here there will be no problem. Now I am going to create public function, and then success, simple success, that will be for example here I can use return view, or return a success message, payment is successful, so this type of message. And for the cancel I can use payment is cancelled or failed, payment is for example failed. So this is the basic thing, and now I am going to create a table so that in the database there is actually no database created yet, so I can go to the PHP myadmin. This is my PHP myadmin, and here I can create a database, that is Instamojo. Okay, so this is the empty database. Now I am going to open the .env file here, and here I am going to set up my database. So here the default database name is Laravel. Here I will change it Instamojo, and here username is root, and in my case password is root. This password can be different in your case, so just fix it. Okay, now what I will do, I am just going to create table here, because when the payment will be successful, I will save the data into the database table. So from the terminal I am going to create a migration for that table, PHP artisan make migration, and then create payments table. My table name will be payments. So a migration file is created here into database migrations, and this is the payments. And here I am going to put some information, for example string. What will be this payment ID? I will need it, and then I will use the product name. Another field name will be price, or here can be quantity. Another field name is amount, for example. Then there will be customer name, then there will be customer email, then there will be for example payment status, and another one will be for example the payment method. So these are the basic information I will need to give here. Another one is this one, currency I will also save here. Okay, so this is another important field. So these are the important fields. I think this is okay. Now I am going to create the table. So PHP artisan migrate. So if I run this command, the table will be created. So let's go here, refresh. There are some default tables, and my newly created table is payments that I give here, and all other tables come here, for example users, personal tokens, etc., that are given in the Laravel by default. Okay, so in the payments table this is important, and I will use this table later. So this file task is done. Now I am going to create a model. So PHP artisan, then make model, and payment will be the model. This will be the singular name of my table. So when I create model, it is created into the models folder. This is the payment model. I do not need to edit this one, so I am going to close all other items. So controller is okay. I will work with this file, and welcome is already done, and I will have to work. Okay, so let's go now to proceed in the next step. You see there are two items. One is API key and another one is auth token. So I am going to copy the API key, and in my env file in the bottom I am going to create Instamojo environment variable. I am going to create, that is for example API key, and another one is Instamojo auth token. So okay, auth token, and what will be my token value? I will get it from here. So copy this and paste it here. So this is my API key, and this is the auth token. Another one I will use here, that is Instamojo environment equal to, for example sandbox account. This one will be sandbox account, and when you will go to use the live account, you can just remove the name sandbox from here. Okay, or you can give any other name here. Instamojo account environment equal to sandbox I give here by default. Why I am going to give it, you will understand when I will go to work here. And I used a model, that is payment model. So in the top I am going to call the app models payment. That is okay. And now here I will work with this. In order to integrate the Instamojo, you see there is a API documentation. Just go here, and if you go to this link, the documentation comes. There are many versions. You see V2, and there are V1, etc. are given here. I can use the V1.1 version here. If you want, you can use the version 2 here, no problem. So here you will get some codes: create a request, list of requests, payment request details, etc. are given here. You see, if you go to create a new request, you will see this is the new request. Here are many language codes. I am going to select the PHP. You see there are many items here given. Okay, so this type of requests are given here. So I am just going to copy the code from here, copy, and then in my here in this position I am going to paste. No PHP symbol should be here. I am going to remove it, and now I am going to bring it here. Okay, so this is the default code they give to me. Okay, so here you see www.instamojo.com. Here you see I called an environment variable in Instamojo environment. I am going to copy. Here I am going to use a logic here, that is, if the environment variable I can get using the env function. So if the value of the environment equal to sandbox, then what will happen, and if there is no sandbox, then what will happen. If sandbox, then I will use the URL like this, that is given here. It is URL. I am going to copy the whole thing here. Otherwise the URL will be like this. I am going to copy and paste the same thing here. So when there is a sandbox, instead of www I will use the test. Then the URL will be test.instamojo.com API, this one, and when you will make the site live, then it will be just www.this instead of test. So here instead of writing this, I am going to call the variable, that is URL. So this is one thing, and another thing that is given here, you see in the array API key. This API key is changed in my case that I set up here. So in Instamojo API key I am going to copy from here, and here I am going to create a variable, that is API key. This is equal to, for example, env and this one. And similarly auth token will be in Instamojo auth token, that is given here in Instamojo auth token, and I just bring it here. So API key and auth token, these are the variables. So I am going to put that variable API key here, and auth token I am going to put that instead of this auth token. All other things are okay, only the redirect URL will be actually the callback. I am going to use the route and here callback URL. And if everything is okay, payloads are given here. This is the product name. Purpose can be env name. If you want, you can give here, or in the purpose you can give anything here. So app name you can give here. The amount is actually request of amount, right? So this one comes here. And here phone number is your phone number. You can put any phone number. You can use your name here, no problem. You can use your email address here. Okay, so test @ for example your website.com, this type of email address you can use here, no issue. And if everything is okay, response equal to this Carl, okay, you can echo the response, or here what you can do, they give this code to me, right? So you can just see what actually is happening here. If I want to test this code, then I am going to here to run my application. You see this is product mobile phone, this one pay with Instamojo. If I click here, it is telling that the field is required, amount must be needed, so success equal to false. Here the request amount actually false, because this will be request price. From the welcome page I will send some information here using the hidden fields. For example, the price equal to, the value will be here 300. And also here if I want, I can give the product name. So here I am going to give the product name here, that is mobile phone. So mobile phone, you see this one. So, and quantity, if you want, you can also pass here how many items you are going to purchase. So quantity you can also give from here. So if I give the items from here, then I will be able to receive the items here. So here request of price I will get in my hand. So let's do it. Refresh Instamojo. you see success is okay and payment request. But you see this comes in a JSON format, so I am going to do one thing, that is, instead of echo, if you want to give a request a response like this, if you want to show the response like this, what will be happen? If I now refresh, if I go here again, you see success equal to true, but the format is not good, so I will use a JSON decode here. So response equal to JSON decode response. So now if I go here again, click on Instamojo, you will see success equal to true. So success is working, payment request is working in a good format. You see all the data are here, but here the status, if you see, this is pending, right? So status is not completed yet. So my task is actually to make the status successful. So how I can do that? This is a very easy task. You see, I have a callback function that I created here. So when I get the response, then actually what is going to be happen? First I will have to check if response is false or true. If the response is true, then what will happen? Here I can use like this, if the response, that means if the response of success equal true. So if this one, then I will have to use some code. So what actually I will do, I will redirect the user to a URL. If you go to response, you will see that under the payment request there is a long URL. So here I will send the user to this URL. So this is my goal. So how I can send the user to this URL? That means I will have to return redirect. So here it will be response of payment request and then long URL. So response payment request long URL. Okay, here the user will be redirected, and if the response is false, then I will show him back, I will send him back to the cancel route. So redirect route, this will be a cancel. So payment will be immediately cancelled if the response is false. And then when I am going to another function, then I will have to do one thing, that is I am going to set up the product name, how I can receive the product name in the callback response. So here I am going to use a session variable and session put, and here it will be for example product name, and my product name is into the request variable, request of product name that comes from the welcome page, using the hidden field. So I receive that here and put it into session variable, that is product name. This one I will pass in this location, and DD response is not needed anymore, so I am going to make it off. And here into the callback function I will have to use the same thing like the environment variable up to this. So I am going to copy and I am going to paste it here. So here what I will do, here if everything is okay, that means if I get the payment ID that is actually coming here, but doing work with that, I am going to analysis one thing, what request is coming here. So request all, so let's check it first when the request comes here. So I am going back, refresh again, go to pay. What is actually coming here? You see it is coming here. I will have to pay, initiate a payment. The card number is by default this one, 4242, or if you want what are the cards in the case of Instamojo test cards, you can search by it, Instamojo test cards. If you go to here, you will see all the test cards for the Instamojo here. So MasterCard you can use this, or Visa card you can use this, or debit card you can use this. This is very useful, easy for me to use, so I am just going this to use this one. Here you can give any number, pay 300 rupees, and then this page will come, and here I will have to select the success. If I click on success, then it will be going to that page. Payment is successful. You will have to wait for some times. You see total 3 items I am going to receive here. That means in the callback function I am going to receive only the 3 items: payment ID, payment status, and payment request ID. So if there is no payment ID, that means payment is not successful. Okay, so this payment ID I will have to check here now in the bottom. If I get any payment ID, that means the callback request is okay. So here I am going to check if is set here request of payment ID, not like this. If is set this one equal to payment ID and the request of payment ID not equal to null. Okay, so then what I will do, if this one comes, then I will use the curl again. Okay, so curl and some other things I am going to use here. So I am going just to copy the data from here up to curl close. So here I am going to paste it in this position, but I will have to change something here. So here curl opt URL, here I will have to change. So here the URL, you see this one was the previous URL, that was the payment hyphen request, but in my case in this location it will be changed a bit, that is it will be payments. Okay, so API 1.1, then I will have to use the payments, and then after that I will have to use the request of payment ID that comes here like this one, that I get using the request. So here I will have to concat it in the last. So this is the updated URL. So the URL will be updated like this, and in the bottom you see set OTP, this one auth token, up to this it is okay. And then I will not actually need to have any payload here, and here I will have to use just curl exec is okay. These 2 lines also not needed in my case. So this one, and then immediately response of the curl execution. So here I am going to get the response variable information. So similarly what I did in the case of here in the last, these 2 line I am going to copy, and here I am going to check what is coming in my response now. So DD response. So if everything is okay, then what will be my response? So I am going back again. Okay, so again I am going to pay, and here debit card. So like this. So here invalid 03. Here ER equal to 25, pay 300 rupees, success. Now just wait for the payment, and you will see this ID. Sorry, I will have to now comment this one, otherwise I will not be able to understand. So you see now the payment is this is the status credit, success true. So status, this one means the payment is now completely successful. So I have all the data in my hand. For example, the request payment of currency, request payment of amount, request payment of buyer name, etc. is now in my hand, and I can, when I will check if the response is successful, how I can check the response is successful? You see here the response success. This success I can check always like before. So here I will do the same thing. When I will get a response here, here you see there is a else. If you want, you can else. This one will be actually return redirect like before. Here what I did, return to the cancel. So here I can use the cancel. Okay, and here I will check if the response is success. So like this, if the response success equal to true, then my payment is finally successful. Okay, So here I will write the success route in the bottom, success. But here I will have to do something, that is I will have to insert the data into the payments database table, in the payments table. So here payment equal to new payment, I am going to use the response, what is there, I am going to see payment of payment ID. Okay, so it is working, payment of payment ID. So then the second one is product name. So product name is actually my session variable, that is session get. I have the product name in my hand, so I can use this. And then there is another one, that is after product name, what I did in this table, I am going to check here. So product name, quantity, amount, currency. So here it will be quantity. So quantity, if you want, you can also take the quantity into a session variable like this. I did not do this, but if you want, you can do that. Or here, if I go to the response, if there is any quantity, let's check it. The quantity is in another variable, so that is okay. It is like this, a request of payment of quantity. So like this. Then there is amount. So amount equal to what? Amount equal to request payment of amount. Okay, so request payment of amount will be here. And then there is currency. What is the currency? Currency is equal to request payment of currency. So request payment of currency. So after currency, what will be there? Customer name probably. So after the currency, there is customer name, email, payment status. So here will be customer name. Here customer name is not actually customer name. They tells here that it is buyer name. So I will have to use here the buyer name. Payment of buyer name is my customer name. Okay, so here another one is customer email, that is payment of buyer email. If I go here, you will see this is buyer email. And status, you can show credit, or for human readable, I can change the payment status like this. Payment status equal to, here I can straight call, that is completed. And another one will be one thing missing, that is payment method. So payment method I can use here in Instamojo. Lastly, the payment will be saved. When the payment will be saved, then before going here, before taking the user to the success page, I am going to remove the success variable information, that is session for to remove the session variable information. That means the session forget product name, this was into my session variable, you know, here session put. So I am going to unset the session like this, that is session forget product name. So it should work. So let's go back. I am going back to check it again. Currently there is no data here, so let's check if my task is going to be completed. I am going to click here. Now I will have to give here the card name, card number, then here for payment, and then success, paying to this team, payment is successful. Now wait for sometimes. Quantity on null, why? Request payment quantity, request spelling is okay, but quantity is telling null. Here is quantity, spelling is okay. Again check, that is quantity. Okay, now I am going to check the code. Quantity, request payment quantity, I am going, okay. What I can do, if it does not work in this way, here you see there is a quantity. So similarly here, what I did in the case of product name, you can easily do the same thing here, that is session put quantity equal to into session variable quantity, and then here like this. I am going to copy, and the quantity I am going to paste, that is quantity. And when I will insert the data, similarly I will insert the quantity. So let's do that again. I am going to refresh to back. If there is any data inserted, no data inserted, so I am going to do it again from here. So debit card, so pay it now, success, payment successful. Here not request, sorry, it is actually the response. I made a mistake here, so quantity did not work before. This is actually the response, not request, sorry. I am going back, refresh, click here again. So here now it should work perfectly. Success. You see the payment is now successful. If I go to my table, you will see that the payment ID comes here, product name, quantity, amount, currency, and all other information are inserted into the database perfectly. So I hope you have understood how to integrate the Instamojo payment gateway with Laravel application.